Indie artists are better than they've ever been, and it's never been easier to be completely ignored. Seriously, the music is good, the production is good, the access is insane, and somehow it still just goes nowhere. That doesn't make sense until you look at what we're all doing. Every time we release something, it's the same move. Post it like new singles out now and maybe run an ad or two. Hope that the algorithm finds people. Then sit there, refreshing stats, waiting. And I've done this over and over, and it's not that it never works. It's just that from the outside, it all looks identical, so nothing stands out. And when nothing stands out, nothing moves. And this isn't about doing more. It's about not looking like everyone else. So here's what shifted this for me. For 25 years, I've worked in restaurants. And in that world, if you don't stand out, you're done. So I started asking, what would happen if we use that kind of thinking in music? I'm treating this as an experiment and not theory. I'm going to test one of these ideas publicly, and I'm going to show you what actually happens, good or bad. And the last one, that's the one that I'm putting real stakes behind. I'm not trying to sell this as like new thinking exactly, but we've seen versions of this work. I just always find myself getting excited when I see a band trying an outside-the-box marketing idea. So, step back. My teenage daughter walked around the house the other day wearing an Arctic Monkeys t-shirt, and that stopped me because that band came out around 2005. So how does she even know them and let alone think that they're cool? And then I remembered how they started. That band didn't have big ads or a huge rollout or a marketing push. They made their music easy to share. They burned CDs and they passed them around. But here's what mattered. It didn't feel like promotion. It felt like something was already happening with them. Like you were already late. People didn't discover the band. They just worried that they had missed it. And that's perception. People don't judge quality first, they judge activity. Now look at Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor hid USB drives at his shows with unreleased music, and fans found them. And they didn't just listen, they were hunting. And when they found something, they shared it because it felt like discovery. That changes behavior. They're not passive anymore, they're involved. That's the shift. It's not just the music, it's really the experience around it. And this is usually where things break for most artists, because most of us only show one thing, which is the polished, finished track, right? But finished tracks are everywhere, so from the outside, it all blends together. I want to challenge you to try this instead. You're working on a track tonight. You got a chorus that feels a little bit off. Instead of waiting until it's perfect, you post 12 seconds of it, and you say, be honest, does this feel too crowded, or am I overthinking it? And now, something changes. Instead of scrolling past, people stop. Because now they have a role. They give input, and they listen closer, and they come back to see what you did with it. Because while everyone else is showing the polished, finished music, you're showing something in progress. And progress feels alive, and that's harder to ignore than something already done. Now, take that a step further. If something looks empty, people assume it's really not worth their time, and they don't investigate. They just move on, right? Instead of posting and hoping, you set a moment. You're releasing at 6 p.m. You message 5 to 10 people you trust, and you say, hey, when this thing goes up, can you just jump in right away? Now, 6 p.m. hits, a few comments show up immediately, someone reacts, someone says something or asks something. A new person lands there 10 minutes later, and instead of silence, they walk into motion, They don't evaluate the track first. They just think something's already happening here. And most artists try to be everywhere, which ends up looking like nowhere. This does the opposite. It concentrates attention so it actually shows up. And that matters even more once people arrive, because most comment sections die immediately. Nobody wants to be first, so your job is to remove first. One person asks, what's that sound at 12 seconds? And then another replies, I didn't notice that. I'm going to rewind it. And then another goes, this feels heavier than your last track. And then, of course, you respond right away. Now, someone new lands there and they don't decide if your song matters. They're more likely to step into the conversation because it already exists. And if you don't create that, there probably won't be one. And if there isn't one, nobody joins. Now, once something starts moving, most artists accidentally remove the thing that keeps it going, which is urgency. Everything that we release lives forever, which sounds good, but it gives people no reason to act now. So try this. Post something like, this version is up for 72 hours, and then it's gone. Now someone sees it. Instead of thinking, I'll check that later, they think, if I don't listen now, I'm going to miss this thing. And that is a different decision altogether. Because when something disappears, people feel like they need to act. Forever content can get delayed. Limited content gets attention. Now, add another layer, you post comment menu, and I'll send you something unreleased. And somebody comments, and you send them a private link. And now they don't just listen, they feel like they got access. The next time that you post, they pay attention because they're not on the outside anymore. They're in. And once someone feels like they belong somewhere, they don't act like a casual listener. They show up differently. So, once you have attention and involvement, this next part changes how it's experienced. Most artists think attention is about reaching more and more people, but it's not. It's actually about frequency. Take just one moment from your track. Just one. Break it into little pieces, a hook, a behind the scenes, an instrumental, small variations. Now someone sees your music maybe 4 times without even trying. And when they finally hear the full track, it doesn't feel new. It feels like familiar. And familiar feels important. It doesn't have to actually be everywhere. It just has to feel like it is to the same group of people. So now you've got attention, movement, people stepping into something alive, but there's still a little bit of a gap because none of that gives people a reason to act. And this is where it changes for me. This is the one I'm actually going to test publicly. I'm building a playlist, 20, maybe 25 of my best tracks across all platforms, Spotify, Apple, whatever. And for one full week, every stream goes from that playlist to my favorite charity. That means I'm giving up 100% of the revenue from that window of time. Not part of it, but like all of it, which, yeah, that's real, but here's why I think it might work. Because most artists are asking people to care about them, and this totally flips it. Now the music isn't the focus, it's the vehicle. If someone shares it, they're not promoting me. They're inviting someone into something. And I've removed all of that friction, right? You don't even need to pick a song. You don't need to think. You just hit play and you're part of it. And now there's a clear outcome. How much can we generate in 1 week? Because the loop is simple. Someone listens, they share it, someone else joins, and it keeps going. And the more that it spreads, the more that it matters. This isn't about streaming money. That's just not the point. The point is behavior. People don't share songs. They share things that make them feel like they're helping. And here's what interests me. I release music constantly, and there's nothing stopping me from doing this again and again, like different playlists, different cause, same system. If you want to try it, it's simple. Build a playlist, pick a cause, set a time frame, tell people what their streams actually do. Start small if you need to. Even a weekend works. And I don't know what's going to happen. It might fall flat, but if it doesn't, then we've been thinking about promotion the wrong way. And I'm going to show you what actually happens with mine. What gets played, what gets shared, what doesn't. Because if it works, you win. And if it doesn't, you still win because now you actually know. Most marketing advice isn't wrong in my opinion. I just think that it's incomplete. It assumes attention shows up on its own, but when everything looks the same, more of the same does not help. What matters is whether it feels like something is happening and whether people have a reason to move. I'm doing this on my next release. I'm going to show you exactly what happens. And if you try any of this, tell me what actually happened for you. Like not the highlight, but the real result, because that's how we figure this out together.